Well, good afternoon, everybody. Today we have a panel about the mobile trends of e-commerce. And for that, today we have with us some very relevant guests, I think. First, we have Lucas Carnet, founder of Privalia. Then we have Jaume Gomà, CEO of Hulabox. And then we have Marc Vicente, CEO of Rakuten in Spain. The first thing I would like to do is to ask our guests to introduce themselves and probably to talk about their companies. So, Lucas, what are you doing at Privalia? And
Thank you, Angel. At Privalia, we help people to dress better and save money. We are a daily fashion outlet. Every day we put about 5,000 new SKUs of mainstream fashion brands on sale at 50 to 70% discount on regular retail price to now around 20 million members in 5 geographies, Spain, Italy, and Germany in Europe, and Brazil and Mexico in Latin America.
Okay.
We are around 500 million euro company in revenues with 850 people, around 5 offices in those regions.
Okay. Jaume.
Good afternoon to all. Thanks, Angel. Thanks to all of you for being here. I'm co-founder and CEO of Hulabox.com. Hulabox.com is a software company that runs the first 100% online supermarket in Spain. So it's a very challenging scene of the e-commerce. I would say that I represent the smaller company here on the stage. So we are a 2.5-year company, still building our core business, building assortment. We have grown from 600 SKUs to 10,000, more than 10,000 that we have today. We are still building our service deployment in all Spain. And we are still programming and improving the functionalities of our website. Even though we have a fully operational supermarket online that is starting to compete with all big players in this country. We have more than 25,000 customers with high recurrency and having a very interesting growth for the last 2013, growing per 3 compared to 2012. And reaching very nice figures. So starting to push a bit and trying to innovate in retail of groceries.
Thanks, Jaume. Marc, what are you doing at Rakuten?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here, actually. So I'm the CEO of Rakuten Spain. Rakuten is a Japanese company. We are one of the biggest, actually, e-commerce companies worldwide. We operate into the e-commerce, finance, and digital business. And I'm taking care of implementing this business into Spain. So what we do, the core of our business is actually a B2B2C marketplace, or in other words, we are a shopping mall. So we have been working into Spain for the last almost 1 year. For this 1 year, we got more than 1 million products and 500 shops operating onto our e-commerce. And of course, mobile is a very important and relevant topic for our day-to-day business.
Thank you. So today, the topic of today is mobile trends in e-commerce. So probably the first thing is to take a look at the current connected device. We can see that PCs are no longer the major device used to get connected to the internet. And we are seeing the mobile booming and probably smartphone and tablets and keep growing as a connected device to internet. And this is also affecting, of course, e-commerce. In this slide from our friends of Business Insider, we can see that mobile today is 20% of e-commerce traffic. And I think that I can add that it's also 10% of the sales. And this is something that maybe we can see in your different business because you have different business in e-commerce. So my first question following this data that we have here is how each of your companies are doing currently in the mobile e-commerce. Because I think that you have different business models, different approaches to the mobile e-commerce, and it's probably going to be very interesting for the people here to understand different strategies or approaches to the mobile e-commerce. So Lucas, you are the first one, probably the next one is going to start by Mark, but now, how are Privalia doing in right now?
We are doing very, very well. I would say that mobile is the biggest thing that happened to the company in the last 3 years. In 2010, we started to look at the smartphones and the tablets as a potential channel to meet and sell to our customers. But right now, in Spain, for example, we are doing 45% of sales on mobile, and more than 65% of visits taking place in mobile devices. So mobile is now the channel. We will be more mobile than laptop or desktop in 2014. And if we should start Privalia right now, we should think on a mobile company, or at least on a first mobile approach company.
Okay. So what you are saying is that if tomorrow you start another online sales company, you will focus in mobile rather than PCs or?
No, what I was saying is that if I should create a business like Privalia again, I would do it mobile first. And what we think and what we have experienced is that mobile potential depends not in the mobile per se, but in the business model. Privalia is a high recurrency business model. An average user visits us twice per week, and a heavy user visits us every day. We have limited product for limited time on sale at very, very attractive discounts. So with this business model, having a device which is all the time with you, where you are able to open an email or an alert with a specific offer for you is key. It's key for the user experience, and it's key for Privalia. And the demonstration of that is that people visiting us both in web and in mobile has 3 times more frequency of usage than a pure web customer. And what we have made, thanks to mobile, is that when converting traditional web customers to multi-channel customers, their frequency of visit and the revenue spent in Privalia has grown like 40% after versus before becoming multi-channel.
So it's clear in your case, in the case of Privalia, that the future the future of e-commerce online sales is mobile. It's clear from your numbers. You said 45% in sales, and the average is around 20%. So you are clearly over.
I think 20% in traffic.
Is traffic,
We
right?
are 65% in traffic. Yeah.
Okay. In sales is around 10%. So in both cases, you are clearly over the average. That probably is related with the business model. Jaume, what about Ulabos? How are you doing currently?
We born in 2011, so we born mobile. And we are a tech company, so when we build Ulabox, we build it thinking about mobile, because mobile is the difference. Also, it's technology makes the difference in Ulabox, mobile makes the difference. So we are the only supermarket in Spain that can be managed, fully managed through a mobile. So I can manage the company with a smartphone or with a tablet, or of course a desktop. So first, management. Second, it's about usage. So how users can interact with the platform. We born with a full responsive site for tablets, friendly site for tablets, sorry, with an iPhone app and building an Android app. That when we were starting the programming or the coding of the supermarket. And today we also have been working, after 1 year working in our deployment for responsive design, we are fully responsive in all devices. That makes a difference, because we are the only supermarket in Spain that it's full operational in every single device, in every single context. And that makes that we have around 60% in email openings through mobile devices. We have close to 44-45% in terms of audience, in traffic, and converting sales, around 35% of overall sales are coming from tablets and smartphones.
Okay.
So for being a supermarket, it's quite huge.
What about traffic? Do you have the data for traffic?
Traffic is around 45%.
45, okay. So in sales, we have 45, we have 35. What about Mark? What about Rakuten? How are you doing in probably it's a different business model, but
Yes.
how are you doing?
And as well a different timing. So first I'm going to give you 2 point of view. So first, the Japanese point of view. So you
Okay.
know Japan is a very mature market where Rakuten has been operating for a long time. We actually have a market penetration of the 80% across all our business. So Rakuten share for traffic and turnover is actually very close to 50%. So what as well this is telling you is actually the conversion is equal into mobile, combining mobile devices and tablets than the traditional PC there. What it generates as well, like the same or even a longer lifetime value from the customers. So Spain is a completely different picture because actually we launched it in October. We started releasing our responsive mobile and different apps through iOS, Android, and Windows 1 month later, so November, so that's only 4 months ago. But since we started, without making any specific push from a natural view, we are already receiving more than 25% of our traffic through mobile, and our turnover is around 17%. So our conversion is actually lower still than PC, but as well, this is because there is a big fragmentation between tablets and mobile. So mobile, what we see is that the customer goes there, check the information, and then they go into the PC, onto the tablet, and they buy it. So actually, 20% of our sales through the PC are coming from customers who, before, seek information into the mobile. And then we got the tablet, whose conversion is actually probably 10 times higher than mobile and probably 6 times higher than PC. But still in a very early stage.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, what you are saying is that your customers are taking a look first in mobile and they are closing the sales in PCs. That is just the opposite that you are seeing in Ulabox, or?
Well, I would say that Ulabox is a multi-channel understanding desktop, tablet, and smartphone as different channels to access to Ulabox. So it's like multi-channel value proposition. Mm-hmm. So you can start your shopping at home with your tablet, sitting on the sofa, like more entertainment experience. It's a different context when you are at the office and you decide to add, for example, 2 more products that your wife has said that it's missing in the shopping cart. And when being after work, you're having some beers in a bar and you remind that you forgot to buy beer, you can add it through the app or through the responsive via smartphone. So I would say the customer is one customer that has different ways to access to the supermarket depending on the context that he's taking decisions on how to buy and how to end its shopping cart.
I can see, and correct me if I'm wrong, that probably in Privalia we can see customers doing a much more passionate purchase, and probably buying something in an online supermarket is a much more rational, call it rational. How do you work on that? I mean, how do you take this in consideration in order to define the tool or to define the strategy? The fact that this is you need much more passion and you need much more rational in the say.
Well, in the case of Privalia, there's one key issue, which is speed. Mm-hmm. You open your sale, then you have thousands of people browsing, looking for their size. So getting there and doing the checkout as fast as possible is very important. And in mobile devices, this is challenging. First, because your speed depends on the networks. And I mean, 3G connections, which are the most common right now, depending where and which operator, is not the best possible speed. And another thing that we have also experienced, which is very relevant for speed, is that usually people, when they browse mobile, they do much more visits during the day, but these visits are shorter, and in these short visits, they browse products very quickly. So designing the app or the web app in order to maximize speed of product browsing despite of the connection is a big challenge we have. Another challenge, obviously, is that there are many platforms, many mobile devices, many screen sizes, and you have to provide the best experience for each one of them. No? Now in Privalia, we are reaching 98% of the devices. We launched first iOS, then Android, then Windows, and now also BlackBerry. But this is another complexity that obviously you have to deal with. Then there's also a third important issue when designing your mobile web, which is the checkout. In these fast, passionate Privalia purchases, you can be in the bus, so you can be buying the product surrounded by people. So the fact of having the credit card already saved there is also very important. The checkout process speed is much more important than the web. So these are probably the three big challenges regarding usability.
Speed, design, and checkout are the three ones. What about in Ulabox?
I would say that mobile, for us, understanding mobile as smartphone device and full mobility or extreme mobility context, it serves Ulabox like impulse, first of all. So I remind of something that I didn't take into account to put in my shopping cart, so I can add it easily. So when it comes to my mind, I add it to the shopping cart and persist till I finish the shopping decision. And secondly, it's when I'm a heavy user of the supermarket shopping experience in Ulabox, I can repeat my last cart very easily, very fast. Speed is always important in e-commerce. So just clicking one button, I can have my credit card saved, and with less than 1 minute, I can repeat this shopping cart and get it at home the day after. So I would say that it's first impulse and second repetition.
Okay. Mark, comments on that?
So actually I'm going to focus on the loyalty part. So we are not super aggressive on the acquisition. Of course we are good and we try to do everything we can to provide good offers, but the true value of Rakuten is actually being very secure on the loyalty of our customers. So we have our loyalty plan, which we call Rakuten Super Points. So customers accumulate points that they can use in the future shops. And at the same time, you got this kind of shopping experience through not one checkout, but multiple checkouts because you're buying into different shops at the same time. So transfer this experience to the mobile experience is quite challenging for us. And to make sure that the speed purchase, the repeat rate from the customers is not the same, but even better than from the one single channel is very important. And as well as we were talking here, for us the big challenge is not how we manage one of these channels, but how we integrate them all. So there is no one customer for mobile, no one customer for PC, and another one for tablet. It's exactly the same guy behaving in a different way across the different devices. And for us to measure every single one of the KPIs for how this customer is behaving through the different ones is the key priority. So of course, usability, different platforms, everything is very important, but the integration and making sure we replicate the loyalty value of our business model into mobile is the most important topic.
Okay, that's very interesting to see how different approaches to the mobile e-commerce in different companies provides a different inputs. We have been talking about the current situation of your business in mobile, with 45%, with 35%, and with 20% in sales in each of your company. Let's talk about the future. The fact the panel is about the future. How do you see the future of your company in mobile e-commerce? What challenge, what things do you think, which volumes do you think are going to achieve? Which challenge do you think you have to have in the future about that? Jaume.
Wow. Future.
Well, you are the CEO, you have to deal with
that.
that.
Of course, but I would say, first of all, it's not about future. So mobile is here, and it's huge already. So I would say that we cannot stop it, and what we will do is to accelerate it. So we will try to be much more integrating all different channels, so desktop, tablet, and smartphone. We are also focusing on integrating wearables and other devices, so Internet of Things, it's becoming really huge opportunity and a very strong space to find out how to reach business, how to integrate in the whole strategy, and also focusing on making things very easy of use. So the easiness of use, it's key in all this complexity of integration and usage between different devices. Make things really fast. So I would say that mobile it's getting very deeply in society, apart from many things, it's especially for the velocity of our times. So speed is really key. And also giving this chance to the people to have a persistent shopping experience over all these devices. So you can have a fridge connected to Lovox saying how many beers you have in the refrigerator and order automatically when it's the stock limit, the stock start to enter into a limit that requests this more product to be served. So we have huge opportunities in integrating Internet of Things apart from mobile.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the wearables of the Internet of Things is going to be a really helpful tool in order to understand better the customer needs and then try to approach in a better way.
And let the mobile and this open world and this speedy world that we are moving gets much more integrated in the shopping experience.
Okay. What about the volume of sales? Right now we are saying that you are around 35. Where do you see the future? I mean, do you see moving to something like 80, 90%, or?
I would say for the forthcoming years, I would say around 55, 60.
Okay. Lucas, how do you see the future of Privalia in mobile e-commerce? Volumes, challenge,
Well,
opportunities?
In terms of volume, I think it will go almost full on mobile.
You mean 100%?
Yes. Now we have a big opportunity, which is also a challenge, because mobile is starting to have a big impact not only in sales and traffic, but in new customer acquisition. Mm-hmm. We are acquiring almost 50% of our new buyers now through mobile, and 25% thanks to the download of our app that we have been able to locate consistently top 5 in the iTunes store, on the Android store, in lifestyle category. And this is now providing us a base of pure mobile customers. We have probably almost 30% of people that only interact with Privalia in the mobile. And these people have better economics because of the higher frequency than our regular customer. Okay. So we have reached a new universe of potential clients that are already there, and we know that are already there because in Spain there's 2.9 million people that do buy on mobile devices and do buy any clothes or footwear on mobile devices, and this is probably 6 times more than the current active customers that we have today in Spain. So there's a big opportunity there, and this opportunity is starting to materialize at a very big volume. So this is something we are now putting a lot of effort on. Also, I guess mobile, apart from the current challenges that any e-commerce business has, will bring new ones and new opportunities, like how are we use the location information on the customer to send them a better offer or to, get more value from them. This is something that we are not thinking about at all right now, but it may be an opportunity in the future.
What about the wearables? I mean, it's something that you are, it's something that to some extent could be related with the fashion life experience. Some wearables that you can wear. It's something that you are seeing an opportunity for the future, wearables, in your sales process, or getting more information about your customers?
Yes, yeah, but we need to learn
Okay.
about it.
So clearly, Privalia future is mobile. I mean, it's 30% of customers that are just becoming mobile customers and better customers, by the way. Mark,
Good. So when we talk about numbers, first of all, and when I see like first 4 years, so the first thing I imagine, more than numbers, is actually, I imagine in a scenario where the new generation of the customers is going to go straight to the mobile. And the question is not really going to be how much of your turnover or traffic share comes through mobile, but how many people you still have remaining into PC. Probably, because I can totally see tablet replacing 100% a lot of the shopping experience that today the customers are still having into the PC. Of course, it's all about the speed and the penetration of the market. Probably in our case, I will not be surprised if we are higher than 50% into Spain in 4 years. And probably, I mean, I will not be surprised if it's much more, to be honest. So I think you were talking about a very important topic, the wearable devices. Actually, for us at Rakuten, we don't really discuss anymore a lot about mobile. We really discuss a lot about wearable devices. We don't have a mobile manager, a mobile executive officer. We have a wearable devices executive officer. And for us, which is very important for wearable, is how do you use the advantages of these real technologies offering? This is not only about opening another shop and just providing another channel. So consider it a good acquisition channel. It's good. It's very important. It's the first thing to look for the ROI. But at the end of the day, what it becomes very important is to use the real advantages that these kind of wearable devices offer you. So for example, the smart TVs, or connected to the real e-commerce platforms at real time, or you get the smartwatch, which can provide you information about your heartbeats, and it can give you exactly the right time that you need to take a pill, stuff like that. So I think that making the mobile technologies clever in order to have more information about the customer, it has to become very relevant. But to be honest, I'm not sure we are talking about 2 years or 4 years, and probably as it normally happens, the penetration will be very different for different markets at the same time. The same for the real mobile technologies we're using today, only for the mobile. So geosegmentation, where the geolocalization of the customers. So many people is having the shop online. Not many people is still using the real advantages of the mobile to offer a good value to the customers. And I think there are few companies who started as PC and became mobile that are really using it. The ones who are really using it are the ones naturally born as mobile who really think this way. And there are a lot of examples of that. And I think that all the traditional PC e-commerce companies, we need to think a lot. We need to think a lot, not only the shop opening, but as well the mobile experience taking profit of.
okay, very interesting. We have been talking about how your sales are doing in mobile. Let's talk a little bit about the customers. I mean, how they are shopping in mobile versus how they are shopping in the PCs. What are the needs of every different customers? Let's discuss a little bit about that. Taking in consideration probably that the customers at the end sometimes are the same customer, but they are buying sometimes in the PCs and sometimes are buying in the mobile. So, Lucas, how do you see that in Privalia? Or probably you are moving to everybody to become a mobile?
Yeah, that's clearly our goal. And, well, I think I talked about that. What we see is that they use us in shorter periods of time, much more frequent, and they browse faster. So, I mean, we need to adapt to that in usability. Probably you can do a video of a catwalk for a suit, which converts very well in the web, but it may not work with current 3G connections in the mobile. So, I mean, I think the customer will be the same. The browsing experience will be a little bit different, and the design of the web app needs to be different because the size of the handset, because of the speed of the connectivity, because of the place where they do the purchase. But our challenges as a business are not necessarily different.
Okay.
I mean, now we are thinking about segmentation of the offer, personalization of the showroom, decreasing lead time, having more availability of products for certain categories, and this has nothing to do with the mobile.
Jaume.
First of all, I would say that we have a lot to learn from how to treat, how to manage these users when going to mobile. But the first figures that we have is that we are succeeding in converting better, spending more time, and having higher tickets from tablet than from desktop or PC. So it means that tablet is giving us better figures, better information, or better experience to our customers. When we moved to responsive, also we increased our conversion rates, our time spent, our ticket in all devices, but especially in mobile, in smartphones. Even though it's far away from the conversion that we can get from desktop or we can get from tablet. So we have a lot of things to work on and to do with the smartphone. So the smaller it's the screen, the more challenging it's the work that we have to do to convert better. Also, I would say it's remarkable how big are becoming the screens in smartphones. So the last devices I've seen, it's this phablet concept. So it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is going to make things easier for us. And we have to take this opportunity as a very interesting one. It's going to make things easier to put our content and to make much more visual and easy to convert. But from today, what we see is better experience and better conversions in tablet, secondly desktop, and third smartphones.
You said, sorry if I mean that you have better tickets in mobile or in
better tickets in
desktop.
I would say that all KPIs are better in tablet, afterwards desktop, and the third one it's smartphones.
What about you?
Well, I want to make a comment because I think we should change our mindset in terms of how we talk about conversion.
Okay.
When we started, we were calculating conversions for the different devices. And at the beginning, 3 years ago, there were many people in the company claiming like if conversion in mobile is half of the web, then we shouldn't push mobile because this is going to be very negative. But what we learned after analyzing a customer across all the channels is that the right way to look at conversion is conversion per customer, or how the combined channel experience affects your customer conversion. Because we have many people that converse more in the website because they browse much more in the mobile device. So this change from conversion based on orders to visit in one device versus visits or orders per customer across channel is a very important change for any company that wants to really analyze the impact of mobile in their business.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very good point. It's like when you compare into the website, if you compare visits or unique visitors or page views, it completely changes the picture. So the unique users are not for only one platform, for all the different devices. It's a good point.
Having said that, I think it's key that you try to maximize conversion per channel because, well, at least in Privalia, now 50% of the emails are open in mobile devices. So the ideal world would be that the people opening this email wouldn't have any challenge to really have the same shopping experience that in the website. So he or she shouldn't wait to get home or get to a computer to do it because probably the product will be gone.
Okay. Okay. Let's try to find, if any, bad things about mobile e-commerce. I mean, all we are saying is that there's are good things. So let's try to find, I don't know if security or mobile payment or something like that could be an issue for the future or something that you believe, or maybe everything is perfect in the mobile space. I would like to, the people really want to know your opinion about any potential bad things of any threat that you can see in the mobile sales. Mark.
So first of all, if I have to talk in behalf of my customers, or at least the information I got from my customers, I can clearly see that they are significantly less afraid and concerned on the security for mobile in terms of shopping than the one they experience into the PC. And that could be for two reasons. One, it could be because it is a reality that they feel secure. It could be just because they are early adopters, much more into the e-commerce, and they know how to handle much better the things. But from a company point of view, what I can clearly tell you is that the level of frauds that we can experience into mobile, and we are experiencing into mobile today as a company, are at least 10 times lower through mobile devices than that you can see in PC. Reasons are quite obvious. You know, you got the device, it's actually quite not handled just to try to make a fraud with something that you own and you move with it. For whatever reason, if we talk about ROI, acquisition cost, lifetime value, just this 10 times less fraud into mobile for us, it makes a huge difference at the time to invest. For the customer, to be honest, I think we are still, not on the early adopters, but we're still in a situation where the customers don't fear it at all. Of course, there is a lot of topics about the sensitivity of the customer information when you get access to all potential information from the customer. When the customer makes, for example, a Facebook Connect instead of a direct register, it can become very sensitive. But in our e-commerce industry, I cannot see really any threat in terms of security right now.
Okay, any comment on that?
Not in security, but I mean, it's obviously a challenge, and you may think that this is the negative side of this disruptive mobile growth, that it brings a lot of complexity, incremental complexity to your company.
Okay.
And, well, you have to live with that complexity.
Jaume.
Yeah, I would add that apart from complexity, also the speed of change, the speed of evolution that we need to push in our company. So it's things are changing even faster when going to mobile, so we need to adapt even faster to reality. And that would be complementing what Mark said, that it's full agree, and also what Lucas was saying.
Okay.
And I think, sorry, just let me one point. When we talk about this complexity, it's actually one important topic for me. When we are into the move of analyzing the customer behavior through all these different channels, this is not impossible, but very difficult if you are not into a proper technological platform and you get into big data and you completely transform your company. So our company, the people who is making this kind of analysis, so the marketing team actually is statistical and maths people. And they take care of all the big data through the business intelligence systems. So if you don't really get there and make the proper investment, you will probably not understand why the things are happening the way they are happening. And so this complexity, it means money on the investment at the end.
Incremental complexity, as Lucas said. So tracking a customer in the 3 different channels, how interacts, how uses each channel, and how it finally converts with cost and lifetime value. It's really huge effort.
Okay, very interesting. We are going to start to get questions in the following minutes, so probably there are some entrepreneurs willing to start on e-commerce or something like that we might have interesting questions. But before that, I would like to see your view about, let's say, forward future. I mean, what things, what technologies, what, big data, wearables, what things, the way that you believe that we are going to keep buying in the following, 10 years from now, people is going to keep using mobile to do sale, to do purchase, or to do e-commerce. I mean, how do you see that? Any disruption, something that you, I think that is difficult. Forecasts are difficult, especially about the future, of course. But what's your view? What other things can come to the table that might affect the mobile e-commerce? Mark.
So going back to the wearable devices, if I imagine the future in terms of these kind of topics, what I imagine is everything connected through mobile technologies. So I'm not talking about mobile devices, whatever it is. I'm not talking about wearable devices, whatever it is, mobile tablet or whatever old device, or wearable devices like glasses or watch. I'm talking about traditional technology things. I'm talking about managing the power of the technology or the energy in your home with the mobile with the mobile technologies. I'm talking about managing the cleaning of your clothes, absolutely everything through the domotics, through your mobile technologies. So I can see a future where everything gets totally integrated, not only with the external technologies, but as well with, as I was saying, with yourself, because you can provide a lot of information to these devices, and this information can be used by the companies in order to satisfy better what you need, or what you need even before that you know that you need it.
So, but how the e-commerce companies is going to have access to this big data that is not in your hands? I mean, or you have to create something to have access to this data that is very relevant for your sales process. How do you see that?
Well, at the end, somehow, if the things get connected through one specific operative system, the information will be connected to one single level, which is the unique ID of one customer through the different devices. And everyone will be kind of fighting for having the ownership of this ID. Because once you have this information, you can not only interact with that customer for what you do, but for what all the other companies do. And I can imagine a situation where I have a specific bunch of services that I can offer to my customer, but because I have many more information from that customer, I can set up other agreements with other companies to improve better the experience of the customer. In other words, I can connect that with what Rakuten does at a global level. So Rakuten is an ecosystem. So as I was telling you, we have banking services, security, travel, e-commerce, absolutely everything into Japan. When you connect everything through one ID and you put it all together through different technologies is when you can handle this information. But to have the ownership of this ID and this information is going to be the most critical topic.
Okay. Jaume, or Lucas, comments on that?
Yeah, I would say that 10 years, I was about to say 4, but 10 years, I can see, first of all, Ulabox leading online supermarkets in Spain for sure. So that's going to change the rules, and that's going to be very disruptive. And I can imagine watching TV maybe and watching a commercial on TV and having the chance to be a voice or be moving my hand, add it to Ulabox cart and receive it same day or the day after at home. So that could be an example of how traditional devices like fridge, TV, and whatever we can imagine can interact with e-commerce. And afterwards also, I would talk about cars. I would say that cars is also space. We could talk about a device that it can be connected. It's becoming to a connected device that it's just one person driving for the moment. We'll see for how long we keep driving cars. But there's the rest of the family waiting to arrive somewhere. So this is spare time. You are there, blocked, stuck. So we can use cars to get connected to our digital lives and convert to sales. Also, of course, undergrounds and whatever.
In your case, maybe refrigerators as well could be
as I said at the beginning,
important. Are you doing something this way with the refrigerators? Or?
For the moment, what we're doing is dreaming and focusing on our today reality. but of course, we have it on our 5 years vision and also looking at people like Samsung. We've been visiting them in the showrooms and trying to understand how they are integrating all these devices, washing machines, refrigerators, TVs, everything, to understand how we can combine all of them and extract value and convert this value to much value even to the user.
Okay, so you're throwing through much more devices that will be connected and probably getting some important data from these devices.
And also saving time to people. So why do I have to remind of my beer stock, my water stock, my milk stock, something that it's really...
Make my life easier.
Yeah, we are selling time, we are not selling products. So make people's life easier.
Interesting. We are not selling time, we are not selling products, we are selling time.
Convenience, yeah.
Lucas, how do you see the future? Is this...
I don't know.
Hard to...
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. I mean, we could imagine someone with smart glasses just looking at other people's dresses and see their online avatar in real time and then browsing for the best price or just ordering, or maybe not even ordering, just having a 3D printer and you transfer that to home, and when you get there, you have your dress. I don't know.
Okay.
But you were asking about this information of all the devices connected. Who is going to handle or own this information? I would bet that either Amazon, Google, Facebook, or Apple will sell this information, and this will become probably a new business unit for them.
And you will be able to pay for that?
If it has a return, of course.
Of course. Okay, I don't know if we have any question or any comment. There are several. Good.
Hi. This question is maybe more geared toward Rakuten. With your recent acquisition of Fiverr, how would Fiverr incorporate the new 300+ million users, and how would that affect the e-commerce business, or
Good.
how do you see it?
So actually, I was waiting for the Viber question, actually. I was thinking how many are going to be. So first of all, this acquisition is actually very recent. So we are all, to be honest, internally trying to find out the different opportunities that in every single market we are going to experience based on that. So to simplify it a lot, Viber has customers who spend time making social life. What we need as an e-commerce company is customers. And Rakuten is actually a business model based on what we call discovery shopping, the social shopping. So we don't want the customers to go to shop. We want the customers coming for shopping. So when you're talking about shopping and social behavior of the customers, this has a lot of relation which the companies like Bieber has. So there is clearly a strategic alignment, but I cannot tell you specific actions that we're going to do for the next coming months yet.
Any comment from you about the social network or something, how this is affecting the sales process of the user's experience in your personal experiences?
Well, our experience it's short on that, but we are succeeding first of all in incrementing or in getting a better intention to purchase first of all. So recommendations and the social environment, it's a great opportunity for intention to purchase, and we are succeeding in converting brands' engagement to purchase through the social networks. But it's still a lot to do, and it's not easy at all to balance between respect and to not be a spammer in these social networks, and take advantage of this engagement of the user to convert it to sales. So, but we are far away from what we can do, and we are succeeding in this little test that we are doing with big brands that are supporting, manufacturer brands that are supporting Ulabox in this small test.
Okay. More questions?
Hi. Does it work? Yeah? Hi, I'm Erenia Casas from InfoJobs. Thank you very much for sharing all this knowledge. I'm interested in your close future. I'd like to know if you're running some kind of experiment combining e-commerce, mobile, and social network. And also, I'd like to understand if there's any advice that you can give us in order to set the goals focused on mobiles and comparing from desktop experimentation. Thank you.
The question is for... So you have to choose one.
Okay, so Lucas Carne from Private.
Okay. Well, we have worked a lot in e-commerce social, e-commerce mobile, now mobile social. I said that now mobile is 50% of our new customer acquisition, and probably Facebook is providing us 50% of those new customer acquisition, and Facebook has released products in the last year that are performing very well. Now we are experiencing new products from Facebook to really help us not acquire new customers, but monetize our current customers. And we are also thinking on how to integrate communication between customers in the real-time shopping experience. We are a leisure company. Shopping is a leisure activity, and it's usually done socially. So we are thinking on how to integrate, for example, WhatsApp in the shopping process to be able to communicate in real time and to share with other friends what you like or what you intend to purchase. And it has been traditionally important in Privalia because historically 30% of our customer acquisition has been through the recommendation. So clearly, I mean, we have done a lot of things and we are
Okay, good.
still
Any
pushing.
short comment on that? No?
I would like just one comment in terms of when you're talking about tips. I think I always talk about tips in terms of this channel, this other, etc. For me, everything ends using the same business rules. Everything is about CAC against lifetime value. If you make it work and you properly kind of analyze everything, it doesn't really matter what device the customer is using. So of course you have to understand that the channels are integrated and the customer behavior is going to be totally different. So you have to change the acquisition strategy, you have to change the things, the customer segmentation, but at the end of the day, there's just two things you have to look at: acquisition cost and lifetime value. And this is exactly the same for any default device or channel that you look at.
Okay, more questions?
Ramon San Martí. Yeah, it is working. Thank you very much for your presentation. I would like to ask about the platform. If you started, again, or you started next week, the e-commerce business, would you go for iOS, iPhone, Android, responsive, all together? If you had to choose one of them, and which one and why, I may ask. Thank you.
Joma.
I start, okay. Yeah, I would say that as we launched in just 2.5 years ago, I would do close the same that we did. Maybe I would push for responsive, full responsive from the beginning, because it's giving a much more efficient maintenance and homogeneous of usage for the end user. But I think that the iOS apps, Android apps are also giving value if they are specially designed for each environment or each context or each device. So I would say that we will keep the two scenarios, so full responsive programming and design, and both apps, or maybe third and fourth in terms of BlackBerry and Windows, when we Symbian and whatever. But I would say that if we are able to develop functionalities and services that gives value to creating an app, it makes sense because it's about loyalty, and e-commerce, it's about loyalty. So I will keep both sides.
Hi, my name is Polo Villamil. I'm the CEO and founder of La Mas Mona, which is an online rental fashion service. Lucas, you said you were looking at, you spoke about avatars and 3Ds, and I think it was last week that eBay bought Physics, which is a virtual showroom company. Are you guys looking into that? Because what I've been looking at is that it's not truly ready at this point, and none of my customers are really going for that. What is your opinion?
Well, I don't know what will happen. I think it's an interesting idea. I think we will look at this type of initiatives, and at the end, it will all be about conversion and return on investment. For Privalia, it's not easy because we are a flash business. So every day we produce, like I was telling, 5,000, 6,000 new SKUs, and these are on sale only for 2-3 days. So we need to make sure that it's not only conversion, but we are also cost efficient. So the challenge is how to integrate these new features into a factory with a high productivity requirement, and where cost per SKU put on sale is very, very important. So I don't know, but we'll have to have a look on it and test it.
Angel, I think there's time for one last quick question, and I think there's a
Okay.
gentleman here to the panel as well.
How you doing? There's a question for Lucas right here. My name is Luis. I'm a local entrepreneur here in Barcelona. My question is, you said 30% of your users come by referrals. So you have another competitors around Europe, around the markets you are. What do you think it makes them come to Privalia instead to whatever, Ben Privé or whatever it is? And the second question is regarding to the other customer acquisition channels that you have. Could you explain a little bit more further?
Well, in terms of referrals, I think the main driver for customer satisfaction in Privalia is the offer. I mean, we are a clearance company. We sell stock, and we compete to have the best possible stock at the best price. And it's our job also to try to target this supply to the demand we have, the best possible way. So this is the first driver. Obviously, user experience is important. Lead time, if you have returns, what's your experience with the returns, etc. But I mean, it's very basic. We are a shop, and the same you are looking for in a brick and mortar shop is what you look for in an online shop. And in terms of customer acquisition, right now 50% of new customers come from mobile. 50% of these 50% from Facebook, and then there's like a 40% from affiliation networks and another 10% from Google. And from the 50% non-mobile, Google maybe half of it, Facebook is getting share, and then there's many other small things, but this is for paid traffic. Then we have the organic traffic, which is this 30%, which depends on recommendation. And recommendation is driven by daily orders and traffic, basically. And this is driven by the attractiveness of our offer compared to other alternatives this day in the market.
It's basically user experience, you would say. Well, the referral
Yeah, well,
part.
it's an element of user experience, which is, do they have the products I like, or do they have the best price?
Okay, I think that it's time to finish. I would like to say thank you to all of you three guys. I think that we have been lucky. Both three of you are from Barcelona, so we don't need to bring people from abroad in order to talk about e-commerce. I think that we have a very nice hub of e-commerce in the city. In fact, you three guys are members of a cluster of e-commerce here of the city. So I think that's an important place, Barcelona, for the e-commerce, and hopefully it's going to keep being an important hub in the future in the mobile e-commerce. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. It's time to finish. No.